The views and opinions expressed on Unlock Your Wealth Radio are those of the host, guests, and callers only and are not necessarily the views of Unlock Your Wealth Radio, Heather Wagenhals, or Success Publishing International.
More willpower than a barefoot woman at a shoe sale. Able to stretch a single paycheck for an entire month. Makes money concepts easier than third-grade math. Introducing your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life. Money don't matter for the stuff it bought. It's the way you think, not what you've got, yeah.
Unlock Your Wealth Radio starts now.
Get your money mind right.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at unlockyourwealthradio.com/free book and click on the link to over 150,000 titles to choose from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by. We are so glad to have you. I'm Heather Wagenhals, flanked by my producer extraordinaire, Michael Terry.
Who's getting levels that are way too hot.
Ooh, am I hot?
Yeah, we're
Of course, I'm hot. I'm Heather.
Yeah.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we will help you get your money mind right on today's show with the following great features, hot or not. First off, our second key in the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series, take action, make assessments. So we're going to be going green on today's episode. A little organic, going green with our moolah assessment. Speaking of moolah word of the day, additional voluntary contributions. No, that's not Chinese. That's something we all should be doing, but probably are not with our retirement programs. Moneyism is going to be a quote from Seneca on craving. What does craving have to do with money?
Sounds like food, a food thing.
I know. Yes, and next up, we're going to try our eggs with bacon and hash browns in a souffle. No, that's not that kind of Seneca. But anyway, so it's going to be on craving, and we'll talk about that and how that plays into professional regret for our money dramas.
Professional regret. Okay.
Professional regret.
A little bit of that, yeah.
Okay.
Not everybody has a little bit of that. Right?
Yes, but perhaps could it be because of this moneyism?
Yeah, could be.
It could be. So we're going to talk about that on today's episode. Also, Minutes on Your Money. How about breaking some of those wealth fears you might have? Our trivia question, as always, based on a previous show, which would be last week's Acceptance and Affirmation. And PR guru Robert Smith joins us today to tell us how to get some free pub for our business and position ourselves as experts. As always, we will talk about your money, your credit, and how to get ahead in any economy. We will also show you how to manage your money easier, saving time and reducing stress, using these proven techniques for you to create unlimited wealth and happiness. Insiders Club members enter automatically in weekly giveaways. And if you are not a member but would like to compete for great money management tools, all you have to do is answer today's trivia question correctly. So this week's trivia question is, based on last week's show, how many P's are in the affirmation success strategy? How many P's are in the affirmation success strategy? And for the bonus, if you want to, I guess we can throw this in because I have some extra books laying around that have gone unclaimed from previous trivia question winners. So if you can specifically name one of those P's, then you can get a second bonus prize. Woohoo! You can win one of three ways. Call in, chat in, or email in to win. If you want to call in, that's 866-966-9420. That's 1-866-966-9420. If you're listening live at the website, unlockyourwealthradio.com, hop in the chat room. Hi, I'm here. And if you are listening from a podcast or a syndicated program and are driving around, never fear, email is here. All you have to do is send us an email to trivia@uywradio.com, and you could be our next winner. If you have no idea what the answer is, however, everyone can still walk away a winner. For you, listeners in Unlock Your Wealth Radio Nation, Audible is offering a free audiobook download and 30-day trial for you to have the opportunity to check out their service. Let me just tell you, I am a super badge collector. I am an app master, finally, with the Audible app on Android.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I'm cranking through the badges. I've got there are some that I don't want to get though. There's like that procrastinator badge thing. I don't want that one. Although there are some books I started and I haven't finished because I didn't like the narrator.
Procrastinator badge.
Yeah, there's a procrastinator, like it takes you forever to finish a book or something.
Does that mean you're a procrastinator?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the badge yet. I'll tell you when I get it. But I got High Noon finally. I got High Noon. That's listening to books
Gary
during
Cooper, right?
during the there you go. During the lunch hour. And then I've gotten the all-nighter one and then the weekender. There's all kind of different ones. But, it's great. And one of our keys has to do with reading. Become a voracious reader.
Yeah.
And it's
13,
critical.
right?
There you go. Oh, woohoo! High five, Michael. Yay! You're cranking through them now. We got it. Outstanding. Okay, so how about some minutes on your money? Now that Michael's remembering things, that's totally awesome. How about talking about some of our wealth fears, and specifically female wealth fears? Women collectively have had a history of trauma when it comes to money and power, and this history has resulted in a pervasive fear of money and power that still exists in women today, according to the Huffington Post. There are many women out there who do not even know they have blocks, as the fears about money are often unconscious and therefore create limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of their financial success. Can you believe that? I think that kind of ties into today's moneyism too. We'll talk about how that happens. The reality, though, is that most of the world's wealth is still controlled by males. There is no need for me to provide a history of why or how this has occurred, but rather to point out that economic equality is still a work in progress. We all have our conditioned beliefs about reality in life, and when it comes to money, there are fears that many generations of women are hanging on to. There is a long history of women holding the fort while the men went out to earn a living. So it's kind of like that whole patriarchal society is something that we have to overcome as well. But there's also a history of imbalances that led to the disempowerment and abuse that we've experienced financially. There are many cultures today that still have systems in place that financially disempower women, and some of that history has embedded itself in the common psyche of women, and it is not unusual for very successful women to still hold those beliefs. Because you would be surprised, because how much you make has nothing to do with what your limiting beliefs are financially. And how much you make is not necessarily indicative of how much you have, because it's not what you make, it's what you save and invest that really matters. So here are some of the common blocks and defeating thoughts that women typically experience. First, I am not worthy of success and abundance. Second, wealth means power, and power is bad. 3, I have to hang on to everything and prepare because something terrible might happen. Wealth is selfish. Number 4. Number 5, there's never going to be enough. Number 6, I need to be more happy, or I need more to be happy. Number 7, I have to suffer in order to succeed. Number 8, to enjoy wealth, I must be indulgent. Number 9, I am too busy to spend time on financial matters. Just ain't got time for it. How about it's improper or rude to discuss wealth or finances? Oh, that's a tough one. By encouraging women to examine their beliefs and replace these self-defeating thoughts with a different kind of thinking, you can look to open up the spaces that allow us to truly plant ideas and possibilities. So how about rewriting them with some of these new beliefs that we can plant and feed, water, grow, that will lead to true empowerment and success for ourselves. Blah.
Yeah, talk slowly.
I'm just so excited about this.
I know.
That I can't help it. I'm tying my tongue up. I didn't do my tongue exercises. I didn't do those.
Yeah, I guess that's important, right?
It is. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
It keeps me less tongue-tied, I think. So how about some of those new beliefs, shall we? First, wealth creates freedom for me. Ding, 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 ding. It does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it creates choice. Yeah. Number 2, wealth and power are healthy for me. Yay.
Yeah.
Number 3, wealth is meant to flow. People don't understand that one. That's where that hoarding thing comes in. Better hunker down.
Yeah.
I ain't going to get no more. Number 4, experiences flow from wealth. Number 5, I am worthy and deserving. Number 6, I can contribute to others through my wealth and financial knowledge. And where the heck is the rest of the page?
All very positive things. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm missing. Where'd the rest of them go? Where'd the rest of them go? Well, we got 6 out of 10.
Well, the 6 that you mentioned are
Right.
a plethora of
I guess you'll have to visit the website if you want
good
the rest. 7 through 10 will be available at unlikeyourwealthradio.com.
Or later on in the show when we find them.
Yeah, clearly, because, well, they're not in this stapled set of papers.
That it right there?
No, that's the first
That's
10.
the bad guys.
Those are the bad guys, but we only have 6 of the good guys. But here, well, I could just make some stuff up. Number 7 is I have to suffer to succeed. And, so what we can say is I can enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 8 was to enjoy wealth would be indulgent. And, what is the point of wealth if we can't enjoy it? And enjoyment and indulgement are not the same things.
Yeah.
So I can have the capacity to enjoy my wealth and still be benevolent. Number 9, I am too busy to spend time on financial matters. So that could be, I always take time to spend on financial matters.
And if you
'Cause
got
they're
money,
important.
you probably pass some of that stuff off on other people to take care of anyway. Right?
Well, but you'd still always want to be mindful of it. You got to keep track of the people that are keeping track. So you'd still have to do your review, revise, and recommit and make sure you meet with those people. But you need to invest the time up front
Right.
while you have little money. So you know what to do and how to delegate it when you have big money. So it's important that you spend time on financial matters. And it is important that I discuss wealth and finances with others because it could lead to greater opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. You don't do it at Christmas dinner, you know.
Well, and you don't have to do it in a manner of being braggadocious.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh yes, I just bought a new luxury automobile. It's my 20th,
Right.
you know, and I just couldn't do with only 19.
Or when somebody says they just bought something, you
One up them.
I bought a bigger one. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't want to say that.
Yeah, that's not the proper context of talking about wealth and finances. But finding out what others do to invest is a perfect thing.
Absolutely.
You know, they say, oh, yeah, well, you know, I just had to pay a whole lot of taxes. So if you had to pay a whole lot of taxes, to me, that sounds like you made a whole lot of money. So may I inquire, how did you make that money? Right. What are you doing to build wealth?
Right. Or at Christmas dinner when your nephew Jackie says they, you know, made too much money this past year, you say, well, you want to put it into a good mutual fund or something. And
yeah, how are you investing that?
How are you investing that money? So I guess Christmas dinner, you could talk about money.
Yeah. I mean, the time, you know, like I could think of an inappropriate time being that you're at a funeral and say, so how you spending that inheritance? It'd probably be a poor choice.
Right.
But ideally, you should be able to talk about, you know, especially, you know, I just reread the 4 agreements because then now there's the 5th agreement out. And so as I'm thinking about the 4 agreements and how they apply to life and to, you know, always, you know, practice those. There's first is to be impeccable with your word. And then there's don't take things personally and never make assumptions. So instead of assuming how somebody built their wealth, you could ask, you could inquire and be inquisitive.
I always do. Where'd you make your money?
Exactly.
I mean, within reason, but if I can feel a person out and think and know that that's not going to upset them, I'll ask the question.
Yeah. And most people are excited to talk about how they made money, especially if they're self-made.
Yeah.
You know, they would love to do it because they'll tell you about the lean times. I remember eating, you know, top ramen. I mean, heck, I slept on the floor for 4 months. I love telling that story.
Yeah.
You know, especially because I was doing that charity football thing and I was the quarterback, and every night I had to lay on the floor with my dogs, and my shoulder was just numb, and I was trying to think of how Joe Montana did it. How'd he do it every night, laying there going, ouch, ouch.
Did he in fact sleep on the floor?
I don't know, but he did throw a football, as I recall it.
Financial ads now. He's doing,
Yeah, because he's thinking about investing all that money he made. He's got to, you're never too young to get started. Let me just tell you that. So much more. We've got Robert Smith. We've got moneyisms. We've got moolah word and keys to riches coming up on Unlock Your Wealth Radio. We'll be right back after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt again like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on Fort Myers Beach Radio for your morning cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today's show is sponsored in part by LifeLock. Comprehensive identity theft protection from LifeLock helps safeguard your finances, credit, and good name. Get your special offer for Unlock Your Wealth Radio listeners at unlockyourwealthradio.com/LifeLock and protect your financial future now. So it's moolah word. By the way, I'm Heather Wagenhals. Welcome back to the show. I am here with the maestro of moolah. You know, we should make you do the moolah word of the day since you're the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry. So today's word is a phrase. Actually, it's 3 words. Additional voluntary contributions, or AVCs. In addition to regularly made contributions, these are extra contributions paid by an employee to a pension plan. Employees tend to make additional contributions to save more money for retirement or avoid more taxes.
So that's allowed. I didn't know that was allowed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And what's critical is the whole matching thing. If your employer is matching even 50%, up to a certain dollar amount, that's an instant return. That's like time value of money in this moment.
Yeah, that's
It's back to the future kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you know, you have to invest for a rate of return. And when are we ever going to get a 50% or 100% rate of return?
Yeah.
When?
Never.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
So if you're offered 100% or a 50%, up to so many dollars, you're foolish not to take it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you take it?
Well, exactly. Because you
don't have the cash to match.
Right. Well, because you're not disciplined enough and haven't set up the behavior pattern to save first, spend what's left over.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to what the government does. The government says your maximum contribution is such and such, and a lot of people don't have it.
Because they haven't made it a priority.
Right.
Because they're not saving first and spending what's left over.
Right.
If you saved 20 cents of every dollar and 10 of it went to retirement and investing, and the other 10% you gave away, maybe you have a particular charitable organization or religious outfit that you would like to give it to. But if you put that money in motion, like we were talking about, the flow of money versus hoarding, and if you gave 10 cents away and you saved 10 cents, what's a dime? Hey, buddy, can you spare a dime for yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So that's all we got to do to become independently wealthy, to control your own destiny. It's simple.
Yeah, it is simple. But if you're making $40,000 a year living in New York City, it's not. I guess it's just not that easy because it means putting.
If you never see it, it's easy. So, all you have to do is go to your HR department and max out your allowances so you get more money back in your paycheck and then divert those funds because they're going to come off your tax base anyway. So instead of getting it in a refund where it'll burn a hole in your pocket, why wouldn't you rather have more money each week?
Get it in the bank.
Yeah, because you're giving the government a tax or an interest-free loan when you get refunds back.
True.
So why would you do that?
So you should just...
Nobody gives you a free loan.
So you would claim you would get the maximum back every week as opposed to a lot of withholding tax. Okay.
Right.
See, I've never worked for a corporation, so I don't know.
Right. And you and I wouldn't typically know how to do that because, we write our own ticket. But when you work for the man, any man, and you have to pay taxes, that's one great way.
Yeah.
Is to reduce your withholdings and up your investments because it'll balance itself out. And now, I am not a tax professional, so you should probably consult one of those.
No, you're probably close to correct, though. And, again, most people want the money taken out so they don't blow it on.
Right, because they're not disciplined to set it aside. So why not just fiddle with it?
So that's the problem.
But there's the solution at the same time, though.
Right.
Keep a forced savings plan.
Right.
But instead of, partying down on a big, refund, just live your life, and then you'll have a whole retirement account to party down on.
Yeah, when you're 65. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's it for our moolah word. Moving right along, shall we? How about a cool guest? Would you like free PR? Are you up for free? Free is good.
Free is always
It's a great F word, let me just tell you. So Robert Smith is going to tell us how to get that. He is a top publicity expert and author of $1 Million Press Releases, Guide to Boosting Profits Using Free Publicity. He is the founder of RSA Public Relations and Marketing based in Chicago, and he has gotten over $25 million with an M in dollars, exactly $25 million in free publicity for his clients, which includes authors, corporations, inventors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. And he's been written up in Black Enterprise, Entrepreneur Magazine, USA Today, and Fortune Small Business, and many others. All because of these fabulous strategies he has. Oh, did I also mention he's a 4-time Diversity Business Top 100 Private Companies winner? Yeah, and he's here to share his wisdom with us. Robert, welcome to Unlock Your Wealth Radio. We are thrilled to have you teach us how to get free publicity.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Marketing is critical to the success of any business, and we don't oftentimes think about publicity. We think about marketing in terms of how much is my advertising budget, how much social media can I get out there, and we think in terms of what we need to spend, but we never think in terms of the value that publicity can bring us. And can you kind of explain the difference between marketing and publicity for the listeners?
Sure. The real easy definition is publicity is what you pray for, and marketing, advertising, is what you pay for. If the media is, when I say the media, that's a radio station, newspaper, magazine, whether it be online or offline, TV, if they are promoting you, if you're a guest, if your business is featured, that's publicity. The marketing or the paid side is for you to go to these media outlets and buy airtime or to buy space. So we want to be on the side of the fence where we're interviewed as an expert, as a source, as someone knowledgeable about the subject, so that we don't have to pay. And I'll get into it a little later. I'm not against paying for advertising. I just don't think that should be the very first thing you should do out of the gate.
So if I am just an entrepreneur and I'm just starting up and I'm thinking about setting aside money, why would you say I shouldn't focus on advertising first?
Because it's you don't have any idea of what's going to work or not, or if your advertising dollar is going to make you any money. So, for example, if you start a new restaurant and you buy all of these ads to promote the restaurant, okay, your ad is here today, going tomorrow. Most likely they're going to sell you frequency. That's how they make their money, but they're going to sell you frequency. Well, you got to stay in front of the people's eyes. That's more expensive. The more ads you run, the more it's going to cost you. But remember, you have no guarantee that that's going to result in any business just because you're paying for the advertising. So I say, for example, you sticking with the restaurant example, just about every major newspaper has a restaurant or food critic. How about inviting the restaurant reviewer or food critic to come to your restaurant and then write a review? Excuse me. See, that's publicity. They're writing about your business, your restaurant, but you didn't pay for that. But you're still going to reach the same amount of people as if you paid. The flip side to that is radio. Radio is really known for restaurants giving the DJs, the disc jockeys, the hosts free stuff, free samples, free food, and then they plug them all day long on the radio. Okay, that you're not buying radio time if you do it that way. Magazine, same thing. So if you can identify who covers your type of industry in all these different media outlets, you can get free publicity first. Then let's say you get a write up about your restaurant in a local newspaper, and nobody really comes in. You don't see the big difference in customers. Okay, well, to me, that wouldn't have changed had you paid $1,500 to pay for it. They're still talking about they still talk about your restaurant and your food and all this other stuff. So that's my take on that. Paid advertising shouldn't be the first thing you guys do.
Okay, so
take it from somebody who did paid advertising first. I've owned 9 companies since I was 22 years old, and about the 4th one is when the light came on, when I became the PR guru, because we're trained to pay for advertising first to get your name out there, all the cliches. So take it from someone who did it the wrong way to help direct you guys.
So you're saying that I don't have to continue saving up for that Super Bowl commercial for my one-shot deal, right?
Wow, you talk about, I won't even, that's a whole nother conversation, but you talk about the biggest waste of money. But those companies, they're in a whole different world than us. They're more of the branding. Anytime you have $100 million, $200, $300 million a year ad budget, your goals are going to be different than you and I, because they don't really care if you come in and buy. They tell you they do, but it's about branding. Because they even have surveys after the Super Bowl. Hey, people, which commercial did you think were the funniest? Which commercials do you think, were the most memorable? They don't even track, okay, well, how much of these business did these commercials bring in? They don't care. They just want you to go back to work on Monday and say, hey, did you see this commercial? Did you say, oh, I thought this one was funny?
Right. Well, it's an interesting concept when we think about, okay, because we think in terms of that's the pinnacle. That's where I want to be. If I just got one Super Bowl commercial, my business would be so successful. and that's a great bit of information to understand that at that point, the companies that are advertising at that point are only concerned with building brand and image, and because they've already got the sales in their pocket. So as I'm making my business plan, what are the things that I need to be thinking about in terms of publicity versus just solely thinking about advertising? What are the things that I should be considering when I'm creating my business plan and how I want to be marketing myself and garnering all the publicity I can get?
Sure. Anybody can go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. And what you want to buy there, and it's $5. That's for those of you who aren't familiar with Fiverr. You can get people to perform a lot of services. There's products, there's software, there's different things you can buy for your business.
For $5. It's a great deal.
Right. What you want to do there is there's several people on Fiverr that sell media lists. So you can get a list of every media outlet in your city, in your state. This is TV talk shows, morning shows, radio shows, newspapers, magazines. You can also do it by industry. So if you own a restaurant, if you're a chiropractor, if you own a flower shop, if you're a massage therapist, you can get a list of every media personnel that writes about your type of business. And if you think about the newspaper, when you get your newspaper, it's broken down into sections. You have the world news, national, you have local, you have lifestyle, sports, health, business, and all that good stuff. So
don't forget the comics. Do they even have comics anymore? I love the Sunday paper because me and my brother would fight over the Sunday funnies.
And coupons don't count as a section. I always tell my wife that. That's not a section of the paper.
But what you're supposed to do is throw that away before she gets to the paper.
I tried that, and she just go buy another paper. Now I'm out $8. Okay, you can tell I'm cheap. I love free publicity. I don't have to pay for none of this stuff.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So when you get this list, and again, what you're looking for, and I didn't mention real estate, but I know that's big too. So you want to have a list of people. That's all they write about. 365 days a year is your industry, because I promise you'll get the publicity. If you think about the local newspaper, it has to come out every day, and there are no blank pages in it. It came out today, it's coming out tomorrow, it's coming out the day after tomorrow. Same thing with radio and television. You never turn it on and there was dead air. They have to put something on the air. So I tell people, why not you? One of the easiest ways is to find people who cover what we call your beat, which is just your industry or niche that you're in, because they have to. Their job is to find people in that industry, trends in that industry, and they have to write about it every day. So if they know about you and they have to come out with that every day, it's just reasons that sooner or later they'll get to you, because they have to write something about that industry every day. So that's what you want to do with this media list. Is you get their email, you get their Twitter, you get their Facebook, you get all that stuff. And then you just email them, say, hey, I'm Bob Smith. I'm a marketing professional. If you ever need someone in marketing for a story, I'm available. Something that simple will get you in their Rolodex. So when these stories come up, they call you or email you to interview you.
That's great advice. And after the break, I'd like to continue this discussion about creating your voice within your own community as an expert. You are listening to PR guru and host of $1 Million Marketing TV, Robert Smith, and we'll be right back with more Unlock Your Wealth Radio right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches, whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
Welcome to the Unlock Your Wealth Update. Here's Heather Wagenhals.
Today's moneyism is based off of the quote from Seneca. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This seemingly innocent quote appears to focus on virtue and the lack of gratitude and greed someone may have. However, what is interpreted here is this: it is bad to want for more. This can be devastating and stifling. Why would someone want to fulfill their highest potential if they are going to be called greedy, or as Seneca puts it, poor? This quote creates complacency and limits a person's potential, making them settle for less than the best they can achieve. I say rewrite this moneyism to be: the man who craves more contributes more, and everyone can benefit from others' contributions. Imagine if Marconi and Tesla stopped craving. You wouldn't be listening to a radio right now.
For more great resources to help you create unlimited wealth and happiness, visit our website at crackingyourmoneycode.com. I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today. Heather Wagenhals here from crackingyourmoneycode.com. Tune in to my Unlock Your Wealth update for your daily cup of money motivation. Weekdays at 12:25 during the Midday News Report on Corey's Hometown Radio, 1370 AM WWCB.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals. And joining me on today's show, we have PR guru, Robert Smith. And Robert, we were talking before the break about gaining free publicity, and you gave us a really great tool using Fiverr to find lists for different media professionals who will write or speak or visualize when it comes to television, our expertise. So how does one package themselves to go pitch all of these media outlets for free publicity? How do we create that package? How do we position ourselves as an expert?
Well, the first thing I would say is in most cases there needs to be a mindset shift, because I do a lot of speaking, I do a lot of coaching, and a lot of people think, okay, well, what's important about me? What's unique about me? Why would the media want to talk about little old me, in my business here? They need you, the media that is, more than you need them. Because like I said earlier, they have space to fill, whether it's airtime or print. And so they're going to fill it with something. So they're going to need you. I read the story, and it was in the Tennessee paper about 5 or 6 years ago. No knock against people who live in Tennessee. Got family from Tennessee. But the headline of this story was, local man gets a GED. If this story can make the front page, a guy getting his GED, then there's something newsworthy about what it is you do. That's proof that you have something important to say, because he made the front page in this town in Tennessee of his paper. So having the right mindset is important, so that you guys come at it from a different perspective, saying that you do have something of value. There are a number of ways you can do it. What we call a hook or an angle is what gives your story sizzle. For example, if you guys read magazines and it'll say, okay, local man strikes it rich, divorced mom starts new business, ex-alcoholic becomes a millionaire. That's a formula. What it is you take something that you overcame, any bit of adversity, and then you lead into where you are now. My true story was former library worker builds $1 million business. In the year 2000, I worked in the basement of the library making $5 an hour. This is all true. In 2000, so you're not even going back that far. I was working in the basement putting barcodes on cassette tapes and CDs.
And we don't even have those anymore.
So they definitely dated myself, but that was my job. I started a business while I was working at the library. Actually, this business here, the PR firm, at my kitchen table. And I would listen to the tapes and the CDs and the books that came through and apply something here and try this and try that and try this and try that. And finally, in 2002, I was able to make enough money to quit the library job. So my hook became former library worker builds $1 million business when I hit, crossed the 7-figure mark. So that's one way to kind of, like I said, it's called a hook. Why does the media or the people want to hear your story? But even easier than that, if you guys want to be lazy, which I have to admit sometimes I am, I piggyback off national news because they've already built the story. Anytime you see something on the news, if it ties into your expertise or your background, you can contact that media outlet and offer yourself as a source to comment on that story.
Okay.
So they've done the legwork for you.
Right. So I was just interviewed on a radio program about the McDonald's shares dropping and the challenges that they're having in the marketplace. But I could also, if I was, say, a fitness professional, I could piggyback onto that story and talk about other healthy food choice options, why people are moving away. I could use that story in the national media, even though I'm not in the financial markets. But if I was like, a fitness professional, for example, I could use that story to help piggyback and propel myself. And so calling on my media list for the people that write about what they write about, how would I structure a pitch, say, then for that? How would I use that story? Using this example, how would I do that?
Yeah, okay. For example, when you see the story, you would just contact the media outlet and say, I saw your story on fill in the blank. I am an expert in fill in the blank. And if you're planning a follow-up story, then I'm available. That's been the format I've used since, for the last 10, 11 years. And I want to give one more resource. It's called presspass.me. So press, PASS.me, presspass.me. What that is you need a Twitter account because it's Twitter focused. But what it is, it's all the media that are on Twitter, their Twitter handles, the beats they cover, the media outlets they work for. So if you're on Twitter, you can go to presspass.me. It's a free service, and you can directly send out a tweet or a message directly to the reporter. So if they're covering any type of story that relates to, again, your book, your background, your business, your industry, you can directly send them out a message. So that's another direct way to the media. And using the formula I gave you, actually it's pre-filled out. So the format I kind of gave you guys, they have a similar one where it's already pre-filled out for you. So you fill that in, and then you just hit send, and then it goes to the Twitter of the journalists that are registered on that site. So what happens is they get your message. They're writing about this story. They see that you're an expert and you're a source, and then they contact you to interview you to be part of the story. So that's one example. Again, I love piggybacking because it's low-hanging fruit. If something is on CNN, all day or 2 or 3 days, that's a hot story. They're going to cover that thing from every angle. They're going to need a bunch of sources and a bunch of experts to interview. And that's the same thing with Fox and CNBC and ABC and everybody else. Another quick and dirty way to get national publicity is these talk shows. Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, 2020, Steve Harvey. If you go to their sites, they have a link that says Be on the Show. So if you click on Be on the Show, this isn't as a guest in the audience. This is to be a guest on the show that you're on stage being interviewed. So if you click on Be on the Show, I'll use Dr. Phil as an example. You go to drphil.com and you click on Be on the Show, you'll see 30 or 40 shows, topics that they're working on that they need people for, guests for. So you find one on the relationships if you're in that arena, health, money, family, miscellaneous type stories. So look and see the topics that they're looking for that fit what it is you do. Then you're not pitching so much like, hey, come cover my story. They're already covering that story. They just need people to fill those slots, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've gotten 2 calls from Oprah using that method. I've gotten 2 calls from the Dr. Phil show using that method. One from Rachel Ray, and I use this for my clients. We'll go to the site and see, hey, they're doing a story on this. This fits you. Then you fill the form out right directly on their site.
Oh, outstanding. So it makes it super simple.
Yeah, super simple. And then if they're interested, a producer will call you, do a quick phone interview to get more information. But that's low-hanging fruit, because the biggest problem you're going to have with PR, with publicity, is how do I convince the media to want to interview me and do a story on my business? Well, if you tie it into a story that they're already doing, now I don't have to convince you on doing the story on my business.
Right. And I'm going to make your life easier. I remember when I used to write the society column, when I would train the PR people as they would pitch me on their events or their organizations. And I would tell them that the easier you make it, the more likely you'll be covered. and so, I had a structure and a format myself to be able to have people submit stuff. And I'm like, if you tell me this, this, and this, and set out, kind of like this Be on the Show thing, that the likelihood of you conforming to my format, the easier it will be for me to get you the exposure you want, and I also get to accomplish my job at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, Robert, do you have any classes or a website, or are you taking on new clients? Can people call you for this coaching? You mentioned coaching in the last segment. If folks are interested in learning more about your $1 million marketing system and they're not in the Chicago area to watch a TV show, how do folks find you to get the good stuff?
Sure. They can go to my site, which is robertsmithpr.info. So the P is for public, R relations. So www.robertsmithpr.info. And I do have coaching. It's basically I'm giving 15 years worth of knowledge and teaching you how to do it yourself. A lot of people really don't, they're in business, but they don't know how to navigate PR. They don't know who to go to. Even if you give them the media list, they don't know what to say. So I give them all of that. And my biggest thing is with the coaching program is if you do the work, if you do the assignments, and you stick with it, you'll get PR. Just this year as we head out of 2014, I think I've generated about $8 million worth of publicity. And what that means is there are people who had to pay millions of dollars to get what I got free. So the magazines that I was in this year, the TV shows that I appeared on, if I had to lay out hard cash to buy that 2 minutes worth of airtime or that full page spread, then I'm paying $50,000 or I'm paying $15,000 or I'm paying $5,000. And when you add all of that up, it comes out to just shy of $8 million worth of publicity that I didn't have to pay for, nor my clients. So that's how powerful this strategy is. It saves you guys a lot of money, but at the same time, you're getting your message out there.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. And for those of you who are driving around without a pencil, never fear. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is here where you can visit Robert's show page and click on the linky links to all of the places he described, in addition to his own website, robertsmithpr.info. Stay tuned. We've got more Unlock Your Wealth Radio coming up right after this.
Commander Marty Logan here from the Top Gun Seminars. What I've learned over the years is that the most successful people in life have coaches to guide them along their chosen path. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Tony Stewart, Tom Hopkins, Kathy Colby all had coaches. Whether it was their father, someone else's father, or another person who helped them to shape their desires into an achievable path to success with a system of accountability where quitting was the only way to fail. Each of these people had someone who didn't see them as they first were, but as the person inside they knew they could easily become. Financial coaching can be the single addition you need to become financially independent. Call the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation now for your free consultation. 1-866-966-9420. That toll-free number again is 1-866-966-9420. Or visit us on the web at www.unlockyourwealth.com.
I'm Heather Wagenhals. Too much month left over at the end of the money? Tired of paying off debt like a slave? Then tune in to my 1-minute update on the Jiggy Jaguar Radio Network for your cup of money motivation. And for more tips, visit crackingyourmoneycode.com.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts as we are in for some turbulent weather ahead.
Bill Thomason is the Valley's premier business coach. Bill can help you ride out the turbulence your business may encounter. Bill Thomason is the America's premier executive coach and strategist. Bill can help you create the life you will love living. Over more than a quarter century, Bill has helped thousands of people just like you to achieve success beyond what they had imagined. Now is the best time you will ever have to decide what you want and to take powerful action toward achieving the outcomes you desire in your life. Bill has studied the success patterns of the highly successful people, and he has provided coaching and training programs to small business people and to top Fortune 500 executives across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can benefit from Bill's experience. If you are like most people, you may just need the professional encouragement a coach can give and a real plan for creating the outcomes you say you want in life. Call Bill now, 602-321-7192 to schedule executive coaching sessions.
Thank you for flying NLP Skills Training Institute.
Work all day, stress all night. Take your mind off your money and focus on your life.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You are listening to Unlock Your Wealth Radio, and I am your purveyor of prosperity, Heather Wagenhals, joined by the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry.
Hey.
And we're going to talk about money dramas. Dun, dun, dun.
We love that.
Yes. So our moneyism today, yeah, we need that suspenseful, like soap opera kind of music. So on our money drama, or our moneyism today, we talked about complacency and that it's bad to crave for more, that makes us poor, maybe poor in spirit. I don't know what Seneca was trying to get out of people.
Yeah.
Trying to make them more virtuous or whatever. But I think that he was trying to make people feel bad about wanting more. You know, I don't know like where he was on the political, philosophical spectrum.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you want people to contribute and achieve?
Yeah, I mean that when you put it that way, it's a whole different. There's a different tone there.
Right.
Contribute and achieve.
Right. Because that's what craving does.
Yeah.
Because crave doesn't necessarily mean material things. It could mean success, glory, achievement.
Yeah.
And I think that we're losing that whole boat when we lump everybody into that vagueness. But what that does, I think, is it creates complacency, or it tells us to, it reminds me of some of the things in big families, where you see a kid speaks up and says that they want something, or they go for a second helping of mashed potatoes and they're shot down and they're like, who do you think you are? Yeah. You need to just step back in line and be like everybody else and wait your turn and not ask for any more and not want for more. You should be grateful for what you have. And being grateful for what you have and wanting more are two separate ideas, in my estimation. Yeah. And I think you can be grateful for what you have and still desire to have more. And I think that that's a good thing, because when we desire to have more, that puts us in a position to figure out, how do we achieve more? And achievement has to do with contribution, especially if you're thinking in the entrepreneurial sense. I mean, think about all of the things that have been created because of craving, because Bill Gates wanted to see every person, every home have a computer. That's what he craved. And look what he did. He revolutionized the world. If you think about it, think about all the things that have stemmed from computers and how he made computers affordable to everyone. I mean, we've got computers in our pockets. We communicate wirelessly through the ether, if you will. And it's all because of what he craved. He craved to make something affordable for everybody, so it would be ubiquitous. Yeah. And now it is. And look at what value we have received in life as a result.
Yeah. I guess the philosophical side of me asks the question, yeah, but did he have fun in life? Did he enjoy his life? He was probably so caught up in, accomplishment.
Are you making an assumption?
I am making an assumption.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, you're already violating one of the 4 agreements,
Right.
remember?
Well, that's my job. I mean, I saw the Steve Jobs movie. I mean, the guy was a miserable man, So
I don't know. I didn't see that movie. But that was one person's take on his life.
Yeah. But he was the same kind of guy, He ignored his family. He just...
But maybe family wasn't what his passion was. Maybe his passion was building enterprise.
Right.
So you can't make an assumption that you're putting your judgments.
I am judging, yeah.
on that. Yeah. And, you can enjoy life. I mean, we're sitting here working. Everybody else is on holiday.
I'm having a blast. Yeah.
And we're in the studio working because we have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And the byproduct is that, people get value out of it.
Right.
So that's my craving the opportunity to do this and to share wisdom. I'm helping others. Yeah. But if I was just to, fall in line and not want to be great at something.
Oh yeah, there's got to be people like you, and there's got to be people like Gates and all that stuff. I'm comparing you to Gates, which is quite a compliment. But.
That's awesome. But we have to crave something. I mean, you've craved excellence. You are an award-winning composer.
Sure.
So you just didn't want to play music. You've been the best at it. You've put forth quality work. That's one of the 4 agreements. Always do your best. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, you've been in pursuit of excellence too.
Oh yeah. No question.
So does that make you poor?
No, I'm not. It's just.
And you've enriched lives with others with your work. Right. See, so like Seneca. Sorry, I'm taking you to task on this one because it causes complacency. That whole thing is, he's juxtaposed poverty. He's put poverty onto the rich, and so again, we still are moving away from poverty, but now we're moving back into it by not achieving.
Yeah,
it's like okay, it's almost it's oxymoronic.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we want people to contribute and achieve because the more you have, which is not just money, but we're talking about ability, knowledge, skill set, the more you can do. And not just for yourself, but for others. Everybody benefits when an individual achieves. And we have to stop persecuting individual achievement. So that's it. So for this week's key, we don't have much time. But I thought that was an important point.
Oh, that's great.
So this week's key, we're going green. We are going to take action and make assessment. We're going to do it on the sly because we don't want to trigger our conscious mind to start paying attention to stuff that we shouldn't be paying attention to until we move through the keys and learn more about effective money management. We want to just be observant in this. And so we're going to do an organic assessment. And the way we take action is the first step we're going to take is we're going to save receipts for the next 6 weeks while we approach our 7th key, which is break the budget. And this is directly tied to that key because what we want to know isn't how much. Because we can look at our checking account and see whether it has a negative balance at the end of the month. We can look at a cash flow statement and see if it has a negative balance. But that's not going to give us the information we need to change materially how we do things. Because again, we already know to spend less and save more, and we don't. And why is that? Because discipline is a conscious activity and behavior is subconscious. And we do what we do. Okay. And it's already been pre-programmed and reinforced. And so as a result of that, we have to unwind it. But if we don't even know what we're doing, we can't move to fix it. It's that whole acceptance thing. So we have to bring it up from the surface. And the only way to do that is to be able to evaluate. And so what we're going to do without letting the cat out of the bag is to identify the when and the why behind what we're doing so we can then correctly prescribe how we go about fixing it. So all you want to do for this week is to get a big 9x12 envelope and start saving receipts. If you pay cash for something, put it in there. If you give your kids allowance money, even if it's money for the ice cream man, write out a receipt, and put it in there. Because when we mind our pennies, the dollars take care of themselves. There's a good moneyism for you, isn't it? And then we will circle back with this, but you need to be doing this for the next week, for the next 6 weeks. So for this week's key statement, key affirmation, and key action item, visit our website at unlockyourwealthradio.com. And for more in-depth interviews with money experts, strategies, and members-only tools to fix your credit, get out of debt, and have more money and happiness, do what other savvy listeners have and visit unlockyourwealthradio.com, where you go to get your money mind right so your wealth and happiness will follow. Become an Insiders Club member today and start receiving the benefits of millionaire wisdom right now. For Unlock Your Wealth Radio and the maestro of moolah, Michael Terry, I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
UnlockYourWealthRadio.com is produced by Heather Wagenhals and the Unlock Your Wealth Foundation. UnlockYourWealthRadio.com and its affiliates are copyrighted 2013 with all rights reserved. For more information on the Keys to Riches Financial Wellness Series, please visit our website at www.unlockyourwealth.com.